Hey survivors, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into something that a lot of players overlooked but can completely change your battle results. Genlings. More specifically, we are putting Raging Fury and Energy Overflow head to head and breaking down their real impact using actual combat reports. Thanks to KHeng from state 812, we have got clean test data from controlled fights on tents, which makes this comparison much more reliable than theory crafting alone. This is the kind of insight that helps you make smarter upgrade decisions, especially when resources are tight. Let's start with a quick breakdown of how these genlings actually work. Raging Fury is designed to amplify your squad's base attack. At max gold level, it gives you your basic attacks a 50% chance to hit an additional enemy squad. On top of that, when triggered by a hunter hero, it boosts base attack damage by 20% and adds extra damage equal to 10% of target's shield. On paper, it sounds incredibly strong. More targets, more damage, more pressure across the battlefield. On the other hand, Energy Overflow is much simpler, but also more focused. After each base attack, it increases your squad's skill damage by 10% for the next turn. It doesn't sound flashy, right? But it directly enhances one of the most impactful damage sources in the game, skill damage. Now here's where things get interesting. Despite Raging Fury being maxed out at gold level, the battle reports shows it achieved just under 21,000 kills. Meanwhile, Energy Overflow, sitting at only purple level, reaching around 28,000 kills. That's a massive difference, and it clearly shows that raw upgrade level isn't everything. So what's going on here? The key lies on how damage is applied and scaled in state of survival combat mechanics. Raging Fury relies heavily on base attacks. While hitting an additional target is valuable, base attacks generally deals less impactful damage compared to skills, especially in late game scenarios where defensive stats, shields, and damage mitigation are much higher. Even the bonus 10% of shield damage sounds strong, but in practice it doesn't scale as efficiently as you might expect. Energy Overflow, however, boasts skill damage, which is where most of your burst comes from. Skills often ignore part of the enemy's defenses or apply damage in larger chunks, making every percentage increase significantly more valuable. That 10% boost on purple level applies at exactly the right moment, right before your next skill cycle, effectively amplifying your strongest attacks instead of your weakest ones. Another important factor is consistency. Raging Fury has a 50% chance to trigger its extra effect, meaning it is inherently unreliable. In contrast, Energy Overflow activates after every base attack, giving you a predictable and steady increase in performance. Over that course of a full fight, consistency often beats randomness. There's also synergy to consider. Many popular hero setups in state of survival are built around maximizing skill rotations and burst windows. Energy Overflows fits perfectly into that play style, enhancing what your team is already optimized to do. Raging Fury, while powerful in theory, can feel disconnected from these builds because it focused on base attack mechanics. So which genling is better? Based off these results and the underlying mechanics, Energy Overflow clearly provides more value in most combat scenarios, especially when you are running skill-heavy compositions. Even at a lower rarity, it outperforms a max Raging Fury because it enhances the most important part of your damage output. That doesn't mean Raging Fury is useless. Don't get me wrong, it can still be effective in specific setups and early game situations where base attacks play a bigger role. But if you're aiming for optimal performance in competitive modes like Reservoir Raid, Capital Clash or cross-state battles, Energy Overflow is the safer and stronger investment. Okay, alright survivors, that's it for today's breakdown. Hopefully this helped you make better decisions with your genlings and squeeze out more power from your squads. If you found this useful, make sure to share it with your alliance and let me know which genlings are you using right now. So stay sharp, keep grinding, and I will see you in the next one.